So, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's, and as always, thanks for watching. Right, our broadcast facility where we make our car videos and then broadcast them all over the world on our big antenna. This stuff's expensive, that's why you need to send me money with my Patreon account. I know 4% of my watchers are from the Middle East, mainly Saudi Arabia. I know you guys have money, because I used to live over there. More money than me. So send some over and I'll get a brand new camera, fix this place up, and take the extra money and buy a Ferrari. In the meantime, let's see what they sent us. Looks like we got ourselves an off-road SUV. Let's take it into town to our test facility and see what we got. And right here in the middle of nowhere, so it's going to be a long, long drive. Right at our test and storage facility, it looks like Subaru sent us a Forester SUV with nice metallic green paint. And this one has the off-road wilderness package, which raises the price from 26 grand to 34 grand. What a deal. So what are we getting for this wilderness package? Well, first you're getting a beef suspension, raises ground clearance from 8.7 to 9.2 inches. You also get a skid plate under there, but they charge an extra $220 for that. You'd think it'd be standard, but it's not. These Yokohama off-road tires with 17-inch black wheels. A CVT gearbox that simulates 8 gears instead of 7. It's hooked to a final drive ratio that bumps up from 3.7 to 4.11. The roof rack jumps up from a capacity of 175 pounds to 220. And we're not moving, the roof can hold up to 800 pounds without doing any damage if you want to put your tent up there. And when I say tent on the roof, this is what I'm talking about. This is a photograph from the official Subaru magazine. Yeah, the tent goes on the roof so the bears don't eat you. Towing capacity is increased from 1,500 pounds to 3,000 pounds. There's also some oil coolers under there to keep the temperature down on the running equipment. And I'm told the cabin materials are coated waterproof for easier cleanup and rugged outdoor use. And we do get a real spare tire under here. Comes in handy if you get a flat off-road. We also tested some other off-road SUVs, like this nice Hyundai Santa Fe 2.5 Turbo. We'll have a link for that video at the end of this video. Just go there and click and watch. We also had the Mazda CX-5 Signature we took off-road. We'll link for that video at the end of this video as well, so you're getting 3 tests for the price of 1, free. And as we do in all my videos, we take the headlights out in the dark and see how they perform. One giant bulb, it would appear. So let's go get in the dark and see what happens. Well, it's dark enough. Let's see what these lights do. Got one light on the top and the weird one's on the bottom. And now I turned on the high beams and the bottom lights have turned themselves off. One thing I noticed right away when driving this at night, we have active headlights. That means the front headlights turn the same direction as the steering wheel is being turned. If you can notice that. Doesn't matter whether it's on low beam or high beam, unusual. Often it's only the low beam that does it on setups like this. This is a feature usually found on very expensive vehicles rather than mid-priced Foresters, but glad to have it. You can activate or deactivate the active steering by pressing this button, SRH. Subaru says it stands for Steering Responsive Headlights, which sounds better than active headlights, I guess. And here we have the high beams on a wall 100 feet away. Definitely right in the middle. The low beam, a bit on the low side, but good widespread. And here we have the high beams on a fence 80 yards away, a building 130 yards away. And there's the security guard getting upset. Go low beam, barely reaches out. Put the gear in reverse, and here's what you see on the rearview camera. Pretty decent quality. And above that, on the info screen, you have another camera. I guess the setup is one for each eye. There's your top, and back to the bottom. And it's hard to see, but all the lights around the shift knob. Very good view. A nice strong red color. Very easy to see at night. And red doesn't destroy your night vision, for those interested. And the gauge cluster looks pretty good too. Not much illumination on the rear, but more than adequate, I suppose. I think that covers about everything. I've seen the homeless people who want to set my property on fire. Terrific. Looks nice and warm in there. I'm freezing my butt off in here. Maybe I should go join them. By the way, don't let these active headlights get damaged. They're very expensive to replace. Now getting back to the vehicle, let's take a peek under the hood. A 2.5 liter, putting out 182 horsepower, torque rating of 176, hooked to an all-wheel drive system, and a CVT transmission we looked at earlier. Because of the raised suspension, fuel economy drops at 29 mpg overall to 26 mpg overall, with 25 in the city and 28 on the highway claimed. We're taking this out in the real world to see what the real figures are, so don't go away. And for off-roading, you have the control here, normal operation, snow, dirt, snow, mud. And let's look at the rest of the cabin. Very, very simple climate controls here. Plenty of room in the glove box if you take out the thick owner's manual books. Very thick. Ah, there we go. If you want to disconnect the annoying start-stop system that cuts off the engine at stoplights to save fuel, the button's right here. No need to scroll through a program on the info screen. This is the way it should be, and that's the way it is. You get a very nice gauge cluster. And located above the info screen, here's your information pod. Pardon the glare on the camera, but it's that time of day. And large buttons on the steering wheel. And as we saw in the headlight test, we get two cameras, one down here, one up there, but the clarity is excellent in the daytime. One thing I don't like, the sun visors don't slide back and forth for the side windows to block out the sun, but you do get this cheesy little slider that comes out, so it's better than nothing. We get adequate room for two adults in the back, and we get rubber mats for ease of cleaning. One feature I really like are the headrests. Not only they raise for height, they adjust for angle. Wouldn't it be nice if all seats could do this? Overall, I'm very impressed with the cabin. Some people complain about the amount of plastic used in here, but it's very good plastic, very durable. Controls are very simple. No complaints from me. Alright, part one of the video, show and tell, is over. Second half, we're going to go out and do some driving. If we get time, do some off-roading. That's what this is for, right? I'm really impressed with this turning circle, very narrow. Great for getting tight parking spaces, or if you're on narrow trails and need to make a U-turn. As far as the power steering itself, it seems a bit loose to me, but maybe that's because I was driving a Mercedes S-Class all week and I need to make some personal adjustments here. As we do in all of our videos, we're going to take some mild speed humps at 15 miles per hour. See how the suspension performs on impact. Here comes bump number 1. Well, that was smooth enough. Let's take it at 20 miles per hour. That was bump number 2. Here comes number 3. And the nasty one, the big one. Yeah, felt that jolt, but it was a mild one. This is a very smooth suspension. With only 182 horsepower, pulling a dry weight of 3,650 pounds, this isn't a drag racer. Especially with a CVT transmission that drones and drones and drones. If you put your foot down, it'll get going eventually. Excellent brakes, though. You would think Subaru would put in one of their more powerful turbo engines under the hood, but not going to happen. This is the only power plant they offer. And even though you can tow 3,000 pounds instead of 1,500, I don't know who'd want to do it. Well, you never know. Well, fuel economy in 32 miles of heavy city traffic, 16.9. That's not too good. I was driving pretty hard, though. Let's take it out on the freeway, see if we can make it just a wee bit better. There we go. On the freeway, there are some advantages with this Forester. The seating position is very high. I can see just about everything. That's nice. And the suspension is very smooth. And the engine is very quiet. On the other hand, there's a lot of wind noise being generated out here. I'm sure the extra ride height doesn't help. Not a deal killer. You'll get used to it after a while, but it is there. Okay, 90 miles. 23.8 mpg. This is made for off-roading, so that's what we're going to do. And the sand out here is pretty nasty. You don't want to take this road in two-wheel drive at times. So maybe I should put it in the snow dirt mode. Let's see what happens. Now, a lot of professional off-roaders tell me that these mode buttons we get in modern vehicles, mud, snow, sand, are basically a gimmick. Four-wheel drive is four-wheel drive. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not. I really don't have an opinion either way. Make some comments in the comments section. Yeah, this is some nasty stuff. I'm slipping and sliding for sure. All that rain and wind. Nasty stuff. Just keep your gas on the pedal and don't let or pedal on the gas. Yes, I should have read the owner's manual. I found out that the X mode disconnects if you drive over 25 miles per hour. I think I was doing over 25 miles per hour, so I guess it wasn't activated. But I made it through the mud and sand anyway. Never hurts to read the owner's manual before you do things. On these nasty washboard roads, the shocks are doing an excellent job of absorbing the impacts. I do feel some vibrations in the bodywork, but that's expected on this type of body structure. No big deal. I'm moving along a lot quicker than I would be with other SUVs in any case. That's a good thing. I can't believe this. I left this chair here a year and a half ago so hikers will have a place to sit. I can't believe it's still here. The field mice. Been eating it for lunch. Don't know if I want to sit on it now. No telling what's crawling in there. Someone left the gate open again. My children are getting loose. That's a mean one right there. One advantage of a narrow vehicle like this, you can squeeze in narrow spaces. a larger SUV or truck would not make. What are you staring at? Go back in the pin. You gotta move on. Move them out. Technically, this is a crossover SUV designed for the street, but Subaru did a pretty good job of converting this to an off-roader. Not a hardcore off-roader, but for most recreational uses, definitely capable. As far as the rest of the vehicle, a lot of people complain about the styling. Looks okay to me. Definitely unique. I'd be happier if they offered one of the turbocharged engines from their other vehicles to get more power, but they are not this year, so just the way it is. And the build quality reliability is well established. So if you have 35 grand laying around, this might be for you. Here are the links to some other SUVs we've driven. Just click and watch.